For almost 2,000 years, a magnificent Egyptian temple was hiding right under everyone's noses, its secrets totally buried under this thick black layer of soot and time. So what happens when you start to peel back those layers? Well, you find a story written in brilliant, unbelievable color right across the stars. So, this is the Temple of Khnum in the modern city of Esna. For centuries, people knew about its incredible columns and towering walls, but the actual stories carved into them, completely lost. We're talking centuries of grime from campfires, pollution, you name it. It was a masterpiece that literally no one could see. Until now. And wow, this is that same temple today. The change is it's breathtaking. The original vibrant colors have been brought back to life, looking almost exactly like they did the day they were first painted. So how on earth did they pull this off? And what did they find hiding under all that grime? Okay, so how did they do it? Well, starting in 2018, a joint Egyptian-German conservation team began this incredibly painstaking process. But here's the thing, there were no harsh chemicals, no sandblasters. They used simple, really meticulous tools, basically a mixture of distilled water and alcohol, to gently, carefully lift almost 2,000 years of history off these amazing reliefs. You know, to really get how amazing this is, you have to understand where this temple is. This grand entrance hall you see, it's actually all that's left of a much, much larger temple complex. And today, it sits about 30 feet below the busy streets of the modern city. It's like a time capsule that was just waiting for us to open it. What's just wild is the sheer amount of time this place has seen. I mean, the story starts with Egyptian pharaohs, it continues with Roman emperors who took centuries just to decorate it, then it becomes a warehouse for cotton in the 19th century, and now, finally, in our lifetime, its original glory is being brought back. And with those colors back, we can finally step into the world of the people who built it. The restoration didn't just uncover paint. It uncovered a whole universe of belief, centered on these incredibly powerful gods and the sacred rituals that happened right inside these walls. And at the very heart of it all is this guy, Khnum. He wasn't just any god, he was the divine potter. The Egyptians believed that Khnum, with his iconic ram's head, would literally sit at a potter's wheel and shape every living thing, people, animals, you name it, out of the rich clay from the Nile River. But Khnum didn't do it all alone. He was worshipped right alongside the goddess Neith. In fact, hymns carved right into these columns called him the Lord and Lady of Esna. So while he was shaping life from clay, she was believed to have brought the gods themselves into being just by speaking their names. I mean, together they were seen as the architects of the entire universe. Now, getting into this sacred place on festival days, it was not easy. The inscriptions reveal a very, very strict door policy. You had to be ritually pure, which, get this, included not having sex for over a week beforehand. And access was incredibly exclusive. The inscriptions are clear that both women and foreigners had to wait outside. Okay, as amazing as the walls and the columns are, the real masterpiece is what's above. Once they cleaned the ceiling, it revealed this perfectly preserved, absolutely stunning map of the heavens, the ancient Egyptians' guide to the entire cosmos. And this was way more than just a map of stars and planets. No, it was a celestial storybook. So how did they do it? How did they take their deepest, most important myths, stories about gods, love, betrayal, and order, and write them forever into the night sky? They did it like this. Here we have their greatest love story. The constellation we call Orion is, to them, the god Osiris, king of the underworld. And you can actually see he's depicted turning his head, looking back at the brilliant star Sirius, who is his devoted wife, the goddess Isis, following him faithfully for all eternity. But of course, every great story needs a villain, and for them, the Big Dipper represents Seth, the god of chaos who murdered Osiris. This is just a brilliant illustration of their mythology. To keep Seth from ever hurting Osiris again in the underworld, he's shown as a bull's leg, held on a chain by a powerful hippopotamus goddess. It's a way of showing chaos being kept in check forever. And tucked in among all these Egyptian myths is a really fascinating surprise, a complete set of the 12 zodiac signs. Now, this system wasn't originally Egyptian at all. They actually adopted it from Babylonia. Finding it here is this rare, super clear example of how these ancient cultures shared and blended these big, powerful ideas about the universe.
The ceiling goes even deeper into astrology too. It shows this concept called exaltation, which is the idea that a planet is at its absolute most powerful when it's in a specific zodiac sign. So for example, as you can see here, Mars is shown as a warrior god, and he finds his greatest power in the sign of Capricorn. The ceiling also maps out positions for Jupiter and Saturn, showing a really complex and complete astrological system.
So what's really cool is that the discoveries at Esna are now changing how we understand the creation of all Egyptian temples. It's making us ask a huge question. Was every temple's design totally unique, or were they all working from some kind of common blueprint? Well, researchers now think this is the answer. As Egyptologist Daniel von Recklinghausen puts it, it seems pretty likely that priests all across Egypt had access to these shared master pattern books. Think of them like design manuals, full of approved texts and images. Now, this doesn't mean they weren't creative, it actually points to something much bigger. And this theory just neatly solves a major puzzle for Egyptologists. For instance, some of the hymns that we find on the walls here at Esna are identical to texts found miles away in the Temple of Horus at Edfu. So it wasn't copying, it was just priests in different places drawing from the same shared sacred tradition and then adapting it for their own temples. The restoration at Esna is almost finished, but it leaves us with this one incredible thought. This absolutely stunning, vibrant world of gods and stars was hidden under a simple layer of soot for thousands of years. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? After all these centuries of darkness, what other wonders are still out there, just waiting to be revealed?
Thanks for watching, and if you liked the video, then please hit the like button.